You've been a key person in the game industry. You are a game developer, you are a game player, of course, and you also are a coach educating the young kids and their parents. Is gaming industry so big that people can build a career out of it?
The first 150 games on Tata Sky DTH platform are designed by me. People thought that games appear. Nobody had this clue that games बनाने पड़ते हैं. People today also, they get confused between what is game art versus what is game design. 2007 was not that great for everybody. So I was fired from India Games in 4 months itself.
Whoa.
When I was fired, my parents were really happy. And then 9 months after that, I got fired again.
You've been a key person in the game industry. You are a podcaster yourself.
Yeah.
You are a game developer. You are a game player, of course, a player also. And you also are a coach on the gaming side, like, educating people or the young kids and their parents, which is so good because most of the time it's the parents who needs education on some different type of journey in the career path. Doctor, engineering, you don't need to coach the parents. They will be the first person. So tell me something about that first. Like, why did you choose to also become a coach in the gaming industry? So let's start with that.
There is a lot that can be spoken on this entire industry.
Correct.
And nobody is kind of discussing the details of it. I started my career back in 2007, but I faced a lot of difficulties during that time as to how do you really get into the industry.
True.
There was not enough information out there, right? So my whole idea of putting out content and talking to people to get their kids into the industry is the challenges that I faced. At least the younger crowd should not face, right? So my whole idea to bring out the content was see the industry, see how it is growing, and understand the whole dynamics behind it, and then probably support the your kids if they want to get into the industry, because it is one of the rapidly growing industry in India right now. And I think what you also said about engineering and the medical side, right? And I did engineering because my parents wanted me to go, right?
So what engineering did you do?
I'm IT engineer.
Okay.
So I did information technology. I'm a bachelor's. It's from Mumbai University itself. But my keen interest always was into the creative side of it.
Creative side.
I was really good in the tech side of it also because of my curriculum and all that stuff. So I did diploma, 3 years in computer technology, and then 3 years engineering. In that entire curriculum, I learned the programming side of everything. So I was a good programmer. But since my school days, I was really good in art.
Okay.
And I was always leaned towards art, culture, storytelling, all of that. So I never had this intention of getting like a job from my engineering. So I did engineering just because parents wanted to do. And then the next day I just joined India Games as a game designer, which was a complete heartbreak for my parents.
So next day you joined India Games.
Yeah.
Immediately after you completed your engineering.
It was it was super fortunate for me because at that time in 2007, right, we didn't have a lot of gaming companies in India. Hardly, I would say 10 companies existed. But I started playing games in 2000 on a black and white machine that my father had. Right? He brought like a second-hand black and white machine. I played a lot of games on that, and that is the moment where I decided that anyhow I am going to get into the industry. But there was not enough knowledge out there, no information. But I consistently tried to learn and understand how do I really get into this industry. Because that time was a time when people thought that games appear. Like nobody had this clue that games बनाने
पड़ते हैं.
Games phone में we had this Nokia bounce the sneak. So people thought it's a part of the phone. It's so they didn't know. And PC console was like way far for India. I started digging that up, and I figured out that there is an industry. There are people who are sitting behind machines and actually making games. So for 6 years of my diploma in engineering, I only tried to figure out ki kya kar sakte hai. And then the only company that I knew at that time was India Games.
Okay.
I knew Nazara also, but Nazara was not big into, all of these games.
Oh.
India Games was doing things which were way ahead of time, like PC games. They were selling PC games also. So I was like, one day I will work for India Games. That was my like dream job.
So just
Yeah.
before
So just before my last exam, right? I just saw an internet ad that India Games was hiring a trainee game designer. I just called them up, did like a very rubbish telephonic interview, but they just saw something and they just called me. I think it was 2 days before my last exam. So they called me for an interview. I sat there in India Games, did 6 interviews. And the next day was my last exam. And I'm sitting in India Games and doing this. And I got selected.
Okay.
And by that time, I was not like, I had no clue what game design is. Now, people today also, they get confused between what is game art versus what is game design.
Correct.
Because the word design comes in, people think that it is about making art. But game design is technically, it's compared to a writer of a movie where you write a game. So game designer writes a game from scratch on paper. All the tools that game designer uses, just Google Sheet, Docs, that's it.
It's like a film writer, because I've heard in many seminars that there are game writers.
Yeah, that's game designer. Yeah. So game designer basically writes the entire game from start to end before the game goes into the production.
Correct.
So if the game has 100 levels, he needs to write the entire flow of those 100 levels on paper. So that's like a Bible, which is called as a game design document,
Correct.
which is called GDD. That document is then given to the production team, and then they read that document and then they make a game. So I understood what game design is only when I started working for India Games. Otherwise, I had no clue, and I was actually interviewing for game designer job, right? So that's how the career, the career started. But again, there were a lot of hiccups. 2007 was not that great for everybody. Recession
was just there.
Yeah, it just started, and I think 2.5 years, it was super bad for everyone. And they forget about the gaming industry, and we didn't have companies also, right? So I was fired from India Games in 4 months itself. It was like a lot of 30 people, probationers, asked to leave India Games on the same day. And post that, I was jobless for 18 months. Like, I tried everything, but I couldn't get a job.
But you tried in gaming industry only.
I didn't.
Never went
No.
to
I quit gaming.
Okay, well, you quit gaming.
I quit gaming because there were no opportunities. Like, we didn't have companies, right? There was one company called Jump Games, which was in Pune, which was from Reliance. And then there's Nazara, there's Games to Win, something like that. And that's it. Other companies were probably Dhruva, which was, I was not really planning to travel out of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
So I quit gaming and I tried again because I had good knowledge of tech, the programming side of it. So I tried looking for job which suits my profile as an engineer, right, as a computer engineer. Because when I was fired, my parents were really happy. Because now इसके दिमाग से भूत उतर गया.
एक झटका चाहिए था जो मिल गया.
And he tried his thing for 4 months. Now he needs to come back to his original roots. Because all of my friends were making triple the amount of money outside India also. They've got jobs already because of engineering, and there was campus interviews. Somebody's placed in Infosys, Accenture, and I was just So 18 months, nothing. And then I just got something in a company called Orion Pro. And I did like .NET programming over there. But within a month, I realized that this is not
what you have to do.
Yeah, this is not that I can do for rest of my life. Because in .NET, right, when you make websites, all of that, right, it's very limited amount of stuff that you can actually do when you're servicing for a client.
Correct.
And there are libraries that you build and you just drag and drop those things. I used to finish that task in 1 hour, which they used to give me for 9 hours, right? And the rest of 8 hours, I used to dig Unreal Engine.
Oh, that time.
Yeah, and nobody knew about this. I had a machine at a corner and I used to finish that task and I used to just dig Unreal Engine. There was Stock 3D, there was Microsoft XNA, all these game engines. I was trying to dig on that. And then 9 months after that, I got fired again from that company. They just clearly told us that they didn't have money for this much amount of people, then they are just firing because of the recession. Once that happened, I was super happy.
Because both the industry is doing bad. ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ game
Yeah,
industry में
and
problem.
I was like, कि मेरे को पता है
हाँ.
कि where am I going to die in peace? This is like, so that's where the gaming part, right? So I convinced my parents. I said, see, any which way, all of these things are happening. Give me like 5 months. I'll try my best to get a job at gaming company because that is something that I feel I can do much better in. They agreed, and the next day, I just went to Games to Win and I knocked the doors. There was no opening, there was no interview, nothing. I just went inside Games to Win and I said, like, I want to speak to the producer unless and until he speaks to me. I am not going out. They tried to push me out.
अच्छा वैसा
It
fulfill.
was like full filmy scene. But then the producer gave me a chance. He sat with me. I told him the entire story and told him how passionate I was. I told him, don't give me money. Just take me as a game designer. I'll do everything. So he gave me a test and he said, like, take this test, take 7 days, make a good GDD. If that is fine, then I'll take you in. I did that and he was impressed. And I got the job at Games to Win.
Wow.
So that was like the actual start, if you ask me, of the career is when I got a game designer job at Games to Win. At Games to Win, I learned, like, for 1.5 years, I learned how to make games from scratch to publishing the games and making money from those games. Because Games to Win was a really, really good company because it was like a small company where you need to, this fact, right? Like, small company, you have 10 roles to do.
Generally,
you learn a lot.
Yeah, you learn a lot. You learn about each and every department.
Yeah. So that was like fire every day and you learn every aspect of that. And then once I was done with how to make a game, publish a game, make money out of that, I needed a good network where I can, because my plan was clear. My father runs a small workshop, mechanical workshop. He also quit his job in 93 with 2 kids. He took that risk. So I think that was something which I was super inspired from. Is there. My elder brother is a role model, like a template of a good child.
Okay. Like her family में जो
the Ram versus and I was the complete opposite experimentation kid. Right. So I wanted to start my own stuff. And my father was very supportive. So I went to Hangama because it was a big company. It was like one floor, you had 800 people sitting. My only objective was to go to Hangama and speak to all of them, try to introduce myself and make sure that tomorrow if I do something of my own, these people would probably help me. So 1 year that I spent in Hangama, technically I didn't do a lot of work. Like, I did my work, but I didn't go out of the way to, impress my bosses and all that stuff. We were making games for Tata Sky. So the first 150 games on Tata Sky DTH platform are designed by me.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a new field altogether for them also. They were experimenting. But I made sure that I use my time to speak to people and introduce myself. And in 2011 September, so 2 days back, we completed 14 years. So 11 September 2011, I quit Hangama and I started Underdogs. And the first, I think, 10 projects that I got was from these people that I connected in Games to Win and Hangama. So that's how the journey of Underdogs started.
So that was my next question about Underdogs.
Yeah.
So Underdogs as your own gaming company.
Yeah.
Which started, you said, when was this?
2011.
2011. Yeah. And it's an amazing journey from an engineering background to having fired into two companies and then getting back with a bang and starting your own studio, which is an inspirational journey. I think would inspire a lot of young entrepreneurs. I think that time it was more difficult to do this. Now, family supportive, you have a lot of options for various things. But उन दिनों में तो it was. देखिए, I think पूरे family में बोले कि क्या कर रहे हैं.
No, the funny story that I always tell my it's in the family that. So whenever somebody asks my mom about the kids, so she used to proudly say that my elder son is a procurement manager at Godrej and all that. She had the entire detail of his profile. And my younger son is in Chinchpokli.
The location.
She had no clue. But then, slowly how things unfolded, the support went really stronger. But here's one thing that I feel is happening today, which is very wrong. And because you said, right, there's a great family support also.
Correct.
Because I think we are the parents now, right? Like we understand the gaming bit more than our parents right
Correct.
now. So what I feel is the younger crowd, right? They don't really do the math. They just want to start. They just want to start a company because it's very fancy.
Correct.
They want to term themselves as CEOs, and and gaming mein bahut hai. This is like because tools are free. They just bring 2-3 people together and they say, let's make a kick-ass game for them, but it's
Not for the
and then they think that isko bana ke will become millionaires in one night. It doesn't happen that way. What I did at my time was when I was planning to start Underdogs, right? I had 3 contracts with me even before starting Underdogs. So a guy was making 16,000 rupees per month in Hangama had 3 contracts of 3 lakh rupees already with him. So that's a safe move,
yeah.
right? I know that I'll easily survive for the next one and a half years,
yeah.
even if nothing comes. So I made sure that company start karne se pehle I should have these projects with me. So Games to Win, Hangama, and Zapak, they only gave me the first
three contracts.
Yeah, 3 contracts. So you need to actually make sure that the math fits. Otherwise, it's just going to demotivate you when you start and then nothing is happening, and then you come back to the ground zero, right?
Oh.
So that is there's one mistake that I feel a lot of
A
people.
lot of people do, and young crowds.
Yeah.
And so you've been coaching also people. So approximately how many people, how many kids you must have coached, and how many parents you must have coached by now till now?
I don't have like a count,
Yeah.
but I do YouTube. I have around 21,000 subscribers on YouTube.
That's great.
And it's a niche audience. It's pure game developers and aspiring students who want to get into game design and development.
Yep. What is the name of the YouTube channel? Like
It's just my name. It's
your
Private Chavan.
Private Chavan. Yeah. All right.
YouTube is one place where I am very active. I talk a lot about the same thing on LinkedIn, around 15,000 followers on that. Same on the Instagram, right? But what I do most of the times is I try to get onto one-on-one consultancies very, very often.
Yeah.
Because that adds up a lot of value. And I keep following up on those things also. So, it's random because you sometimes you don't know how many people you touched through the content that you make.
Correct.
Funny story, somebody wanted to start posting content on LinkedIn, and we were discussing about this thing. Nobody sees this. Nobody sees my post. There's only 1 or 2 likes. Why do I keep doing that over and over again? The fun fact is the 1 or 2 people who like your post, right? They are appreciating your content.
Correct.
But it's actually being seen by 1,000 people. Right? They're just not very supportive, and that's why they're not liking it.
Yeah.
But it's been read by 1,000 people, right? So you need to do your bit, and slowly, because it all compounds. Once you start posting out content, right, it all compounds.
Correct.
I went to IGDC. Like I am a part of IGDC, which is India Game Developer Conference, which is one of the biggest in India. So I've been in council, the main council who drives the entire conference. And I've been a part of IGDC for, I think, last 15 years. Every time I go to IGDC, somehow people make me cry.
Oh.
Yeah, because you don't know about how things are affecting people. I meet people, I speak to students. One of them, like 2 years back when I went to IGDC, one of them came to me and told me that I was in depression and I was about to attempt suicide.
Okay.
But the 5 videos, and he specifically named those 5 videos, and I was like, it just is very inspiring that you actually make a big change in someone else's life, right? So technically there is no count, but because of these things,
even one or two people who comes to you and say that I was about to commit suicide, but these are the 4 videos, the 5 videos which changed my decision. Makes a lot of difference.
There's one kid who just reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I don't want to name him, but he only has limbs. or like in small hands.
But no fingers.
No, he has fingers,
But small.
he cannot move without anybody supporting.
Oh.
Like he reached out to me on LinkedIn, and we were doing an event in Pune, and he never mentioned this to me. He never mentioned about his condition, and he was just saying that I am on wheelchair. I just need support from station to the event. And I was like, हाँ ये तो कर ही सकता है because we wheelchair पे है. So I went to Pune. Like I arranged that all thing for him to the event because he wanted to come with his mother and his friend.
Okay.
Right. So I went to Pune. I was shocked to see him sitting in the front row, and he was just this tiny little guy. And we made sure after that that we give him full access to IGDC, fly him down there, make sure that he also has a place to live for those 3 days, and free tickets for him. Everything. Today is on job as a game programmer, working remotely, but he's
doing good.
Yeah,
he's doing good.
All of these things, right? These are things why you push yourself to do more.
Yeah.
Because these things are not going to make money for you.
Correct.
But I somehow feel good about this because I'm more into spirituality. So this is the reason I keep doing this.
Yeah, so earlier when we discussed time need to make content, and I told you somehow you're dedicating time to make sure that you come out with your regular contents, and I probably these are few things which keeps inspiring you that somewhere somebody will look at this video, maybe helpful for that one person. One video, one person,
absolutely
enough. Yeah.
I'll tell you one simple shift that has happened in my content creation. I started this thing in 2018. And initially, I just wanted to put out everything that I knew for free. But slowly, when people started, watching that and commenting on it, I slowly got into this thing of, that I want to build my personal brand and stuff like that.
Correct.
And then the intention went into that direction, and I started posting content on that angle. But just 2 years back, I saw one of the videos of some content creator. We just made a big shift in my
thought process.
Yeah, thought process is you'll only grow everything like personal brand, your revenue, everything, if you just post content with one single emotion, which is serving
purpose.
That's it. If you think everything that you're making is going to serve someone, it is going to come back to you in multiple formats. So then I started thinking, oh, मैं ये डालूं क्या वीडियो, ये डालने से किसी को कोई फायदा हो रहा है क्या? So I'll not do that.
Okay.
I'll not put vlog, which is just showing my life.
Yeah, life.
But I'll talk about Google players introduce this, go and apply for this.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that shift has happened. So now I work on that part more.
Yeah, because for example, if you have 20,000 followers, so out of that, at least few percentage are seriously looking at you as a mentor.
Yeah.
Like God, sir, aap batao.
Yeah.
But I read other people's comments, big people, and some kids are they treat them as God. So they trust them so much.
Yeah.
And that should be taken care of. Dude, I'll give you what you want. Just keep reading whatever information I give. I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how many projects has Underdogs done now? Till now, and what kind of projects?
So we started in 2011 as a B2B company. So the idea that I had was because I said I had 3 projects in line before starting, right?
Yeah.
My idea was very simple. When I was at Hungama, my job as a game producer was to figure out smaller studios who can make good quality games and for affordable prices. Because companies like Hungama, Games to Win, they don't make games in-house.
Yeah.
They look for smaller studios who can actually give them games, right? So our job was to do that. And when I was trying to find these studios, I didn't find good studios. In 2011, right? And at that time, I think 22 companies were there. So I decided, why not? Why not go on the other side of the table? I know what the requirement is because I am the one who was looking for these studios.
Yes.
So let's build
this. Outsource it.
Yeah.
So might as well outsource it to a studio which has all the
Yeah,
requirements.
correct. So I built Underdogs so that Games to Win, Hangama, Zapak, and all the rest of the other companies would feel very comfortable working with a studio which gives good quality games at affordable prices. That is Underdogs. So that was the idea. We started with that. In 2 years, first 2 years, we built games on Flash because at that time web games were doing good. We made games on Flash for 2 years, and then in 2013 we shifted to mobile.
Okay.
Because Unity came in, app stores came in.
Correct.
So everybody was building mobile games. We built first few mobile games at that time. A couple of them really hit games for other people, not for us. And in 2015, we made our first good big IP, which was Skatelander. So Skatelander was an endless arcade skateboarding game that went really big. So in India, there were not many games which are getting global recognition at that time.
Correct.
Not many independent developers also getting spotlight on Google Play and Apple Store.
Correct.
So there were like around 10 games at that time in 2015, including our game, which got that recognition. So that was the game changer for us. So 4 people working in a very small place, Skatelander becomes a success. We get fame, name, money. We put
everything.
The studio into a proper professional company. So in the last, you can say, we stopped doing B2B till 2020 or 21 max. And in those 10 years, we made more than 250 games for gaming companies, digital agencies, brands, movie production houses, some of them for non-gaming companies who needed gamification. Gamification was a new
for everywhere, corporate education.
So they just wanted to spend money on gamification to convert their boring processes into something fun. So we did something for Mercedes-Benz, CMA-CGM, converting their training modules into some engaging, fun game element into it. So 250 games across different verticals. We made a lot of movie games also, movie and series. So we made something on Jodha Akbar, Shubhamangal Savdhan, the Ayushman movie. We did Coolie #1. A lot of views.
There was a period when every movie used to have Bhagat Singh and all.
And it was like a very, honestly, it was a poor model because they used to come to us 20 days before the movie is about to launch.
And they wanted to release the game also along with the
Yeah. And kya hi banega wo 20 din? Like, so we used to do some hacks and just put the game out. A good part for us was it was a chunk of money. And they didn't have any plans to nurture that game after the movie, right? So it was an easy business for us also. So we did that also. And then 2018, we actually wrote this first big game, which is a PC game, which we're working on right now, which is Mukti.
Yeah.
So that was like the first draft that me and my co-founder Sankesh More, we wrote in 2018, like a 2-pager draft. And then there's a very long story of how Mukti came to life. With a lot of ups and downs. But today we're very happy that it's in alpha right now.
Yeah. So Vaibhav, thank you so much for being here. And it was great talking to you about the Indian game industry and especially your company Underdogs and the biggest project which we are all hoping to be released soonest. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for inviting me again. It was great conversation.